Welcome to the House Therapy, the podcast that helps you to create a home that you love to live in. I'm Nina Dwaron, owner and lead designer at ISO Design and Interiors. And each week, we're going to explore practical ways to help bring more beauty, function, and flow into your space. From design and staging to organizing, downsizing, and everything in between. If you want a home that truly supports your life and your family, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Welcome back to the House Therapy Podcast, where we talk about real homes, real energy, and how spaces can truly support the life that we want to live. Today, we are diving into a topic that I get asked about more often than people realize, and that is Feng Shui. This episode is for beginners, so you do not need to have any background knowledge. You do not need to believe in anything mystical. We are focusing on practical, real-world advice that you can actually use. We're going to talk about what Feng Shui is, why it matters, and a few simple things that you can do right away and how to prepare your home for the year of the fire horse in 2026. All of which is based on the teachings from Master Paul Ing. So what is Feng Shui and why does it matter? Feng Shui is the practice of arranging your environment to support balance, flow, and well-being. At its core, Feng Shui is about energy and how it moves through your home and how that energy affects your mood, your health, relationships, and success. So whether you believe in energy or not, most people can agree on this, that clutter creates stress and dark spaces can feel gloomy and heavy. And when layout is poor, it can really affect how we live. So Feng Shui gives us a framework to design homes that feels more supportive instead of draining. And as a designer, I see this all the time. When a space flows well, people feel calmer, clearer, and more grounded. In fact, I feel the same in my own home. I always feel such lightness when my home is clean and clutter-free. This is actually Feng Shui in action. So why do Feng Shui energy feel more relevant than ever? Well, perhaps you can agree that life feels really fast and unpredictable right now. And people are craving peace at home and at work. They want spaces that feel nourishing and grounding. And Feng Shui is not about superstition at all. It's about intention, awareness, and then being aligned with the energy that's around us. Your home is not just where you live, it is where you recharge and reconnect. And 2026 is the year of the fire horse. If you are born in, let's say, 2026, 2014, 2002, 1990, essentially it repeats every 12 years. You then represent the horse sign in the Chinese zodiac calendar. Now, a fire horse is energy is bold, it's fast moving, it's passionate, and it's powerful. According to Master Paul Ing, this year favors action and momentum, visibility and leadership, creativity and courage, all the great signs of horse. But the fire horse energy can also bring burnout, impulsiveness, and emotional intensity. And your home becomes even more important during a high fire year because it helps to ground and stabilize that energy. So just how do you create Feng Shui harmony at home then? Well, I'm going to share some foundational Feng Shui principles that anyone can apply easily and quickly. First, clear the clutter. You cannot fix energy if it cannot move, right? Clutter blocks opportunities and creates mental weight and noise. If you do nothing else this year, start with your entryway, your primary bedroom, and the kitchen, all right? Second, support the front door because in Feng Shui, Front door represents the entrance to opportunity and abundance. So make sure that your front door can open fully, freely. It cannot be stuck and cannot be difficult to open. And lighting in an entranceway should be bright and all in working condition. And the space needs to feel open and welcoming. This means no shoes, no broken items of any sort, and no clutter in the space. It is very important to reiterate. You also then need to balance fire energy with grounding elements, because 2026 is a fire year and we want to soften the excess fire, okay? So to do this, consider adding things like earth tones, colors like beige and taupe, and clay, natural colors, and natural materials like wood, stone, and linen, and even rounded shaped furniture instead of those sharp linear edges, because these elements adds calmness to your home. These are all affirmed with the 2026 design trends that I spoke about in an episode. So if you missed it, go back and watch my 2026 design trends episode. I'm going to include the link in the show notes, okay? Now let's go through how you can apply Feng Shui principles room by room, all right? First, the foyer or the entryway. So again, to reiterate, the entryway or the front door is one of the most important areas in Feng Shui because it represents opportunity, abundance, and how energy enters your life and your home. So make sure to keep this space clear and open and use warm and functional lighting. Make sure that your door can be open fully and freely. And of course, try and add a welcoming element like a beautiful piece of artwork or a plant. At the same time though, you need to be aware of things to avoid. And so in the entryway, avoid shoe piles, okay? Because I see this very often. Anything that's broken, like broken tiles, broken decor objects, and avoid dark lighting. And lastly, avoid mirrors which directly faces the door, because because mirrors can deflect and prevent good energy from entering your home. So next, let's talk about the other important areas of your home, which is the living room. The living room represents connection, family, and how you interact with one another. So be sure you arrange furniture to support conversations, okay? This means no placing furniture to just face the TV or all along the walls only. Keep pathways clear and balance seating so that no one feels isolated from the conversation, all right? And use good grounding colors and textures to balance the force of the fire energy, such as earth tone colors, natural linen, etc. Again, watch my 2026 Design Trends episode for more about that. Things to avoid in the living room are the opposite, the furniture pushed only against walls, sharp corners pointing at seating areas and people sitting in them, and the use of too many bold reds in 2026, as it will only fuel the fire nature. Next, let's talk about the kitchen. The kitchen represents health, nourishment, and wealth. It is one of the most powerful rooms in Feng Shui. After all, it is often referred to as the heart of the home for a reason, right? So be sure to keep the stove clean and in good working order. All stove elements must be working. And try to use all the burners regularly. So rotate the burners that you use, not just the favorite front two burners, okay? Keep countertops mostly clear and clean. And balance fire by adding a water element like a running water fountain or a live plant. At the same time though, what you should avoid in the kitchen includes things like clutter around the stove, okay? Broken appliances. All broken appliances must be repaired and replaced immediately. Avoid design choices where the stove is facing directly to the sink wherever possible, okay? Now, let's talk about the dining room. The dining room represents abundance and connection. For your dining room, consider adding a solid table. What this means is no leaves, no extensions, and keep chairs to an even number like 4, 6, or 8, and add good lighting above the table. This, of course, is for practical reasons, but then it's also for beauty as well, all right? Keep the space inviting even if it is rarely used. If you work at your dining table, let's say, make sure that it is clear and tidy at the end of each day. The dining room table is not a storage space. Now, things to avoid in a dining room: storing clutter in the dining area, or not having any lighting or poor lighting, unbalanced seating, like odd seating. Now, so those are some of the things that you definitely should avoid in the dining room. But let's talk about the bedrooms. Now, the bedroom represents rest, relationship, and emotional health. This room should feel calm and supportive. Too much fire energy in the bedroom can affect sleep and relationships. So always make sure that you place the bed against a solid wall. Preferably not against an outside wall or not under a window, if it can be avoided, that is. And never, ever on an angle, all right? The headboard should be solid and supportive. And try and use matching nightstands if possible. And choose calming, grounding colors, like neutral colors. And, having the 2 nightstands means symmetry, and symmetry is very important in Feng Shui. Now, things to avoid in the bedroom: mirrors that face the bed, excess electronics. We do not have any TVs in our bedrooms, and we make it a rule not to have any phones in our bedroom as well. The only electronics that we have in our bedroom, is the alarm clock. So also, avoid too much red or high energy color and decor in the bedroom, because you want to aim for resting and calm colors. Lastly, make sure that you remove clutter near the bed, on the bed, and under the bed. Let's say if you have a king size bed with a split box spring, try and add a large red fitted sheet that covers both box springs, because it'll make it appear as one. A split box spring is negative energy for a happy and healthy marriage and relationship. And red is a lucky color in the Chinese culture, if you believe it, but it is not to be overly used in the bedroom, especially in a fire year as the one that we are in now. So for bathrooms represent energy drainage. It represents the most negative energy room in a house. So for that reason, we want it to contain it and to soften that effect. So be sure to keep the doors and the toilet lids closed always. Besides, who wants to look inside an open toilet, right? The other thing I wanted to share was that you want to keep the toilet lids and the bathroom door closed, especially if it's in a powder room where the powder room faces the stairway directly, okay? The other thing you want to make sure you do is fix leaks immediately. Leaks means drainage of financial and economic health, okay? So fix that immediately. Keep the space clean and calm. And add earth elements like wood or stone accessories to the bathroom. Things to avoid in a bathroom: avoid poor lighting, for obvious reasons, of course. After all, it's difficult to put on makeup with poor lighting, right? Avoid broken fixtures of any sort. That includes sinks, faucets, etc., tiles, and of course, avoid cold, sterile feeling designs, like too much white, right? So lastly, the last space we want to talk about today is the home office. The home office represents career, focus, and clarity. This is especially important in a fire horse year. So make sure that with your office, you sit with a solid wall behind you and face the door if at all possible. If you can't face the door, try and add a mirror so that you can see behind you. Keep power cords organized and tidy, and add one grounding element like maybe a plant or a natural stone to your office, all right? Like a paperweight. Things to avoid: sitting with your back to the door and not being able to see the comings and goings behind you, all right? So again, as I mentioned earlier, if that's the case, just add a mirror. Remove visual clutter on your desk, floor, and shelves. That goes without saying. And most importantly, avoid working from beds or couches for long periods, not just in the day, but for long term, that is. All right? Because it's about career, and you don't want to mix relationship and career, especially in a fire year. So what do you think? Not too difficult to apply, right? So start the year of the fire horse strong so that you too can have a prosperous and healthy year. I recommend that you do a full home reset before the new year. This means cleaning and decluttering by the eve of the new year, but never, ever on the day of the new year. In fact, you should avoid cleaning and decluttering for the first 3 days of the new year, as it can, clear out any of the good, new, and fresh energy in your home. But you also should think about decluttering with intention for clarity in your home as well as your mental well-being. And try and set one clear intention for each of the major spaces that we discussed, all right? And focus on quality versus quantity when adding things to your home, because we have way too much stuff as it is. And finally, try and create a calming zone in your home, all right? Now, remember, the new year means a fresh start, so your home should support where you are going, not where you've been, all right? I hope that I've explained it in a way that Feng Shui does not have to be complicated or extreme. When applied thoughtfully and considerately, it can be a powerful design tool that supports how you live, feel, and move through your day. As a designer, I believe that beautiful homes should also feel good to live in. And if you are curious about designing or refreshing your home with Feng Shui in mind, I would love to help you do that in a grounded, modern, and practical way. So if this episode helped you, please share it with someone who could use a little bit more balance in their home and their life as well. And if you want a full Feng Shui assessment for your home, I recommend that you reach out to a Feng Shui master like Master Paul Ing. We had him come to our home when we first moved in, and his insights and recommendations were so invaluable. I'm going to include his contact information in the show notes for you. I'm only recommending him because I've used his guidance myself, but I recommend that you do your own research and find one that is well-trained and well-practiced as well. And finally, as always, if you take care of your home, it'll take care of you, all right? Now, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support will help this podcast channel to grow and reach more people who can use the advice shared on this channel, all right? So until next time, take care and happy Lunar New Year. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the House Therapy Podcast. If today's episode inspired you, be sure to follow the show and share it with someone who would love it too. For more tips, resources, or to work with me directly, visit isodesign.ca. Until next time, remember, with a little effort, every home can be beautiful and every space can be functional. And remember, you deserve it.